Alright, we're live. We got one watcher. You guys are just dying for me to come on. A slow day at work, so early start today on this. Charles comes on at 7, so we got 5 hours, or 9. We got a lot of time. I got the outboard wing done. What I'm going to show here is how to build the inboard wing to match it. What I've done is I've took a straight edge and I made sure the cradles were straight, taped them together. I have, I positioned the trailing edge here. Let me change angles. I positioned the trailing edge on the, hey Steve. Great. Position the trailing edge on the mold, or on the wing buck, the saddle, or whatever you want to call it. And I'm just going down the way, and I pin these two ribs together so that they match each other. And they should match. No, they get cut out, but you want them pinned together because that's where we're going to glue this thing together. Is right here and up and around in here. So then it gets compression spar up here to tie them both together. But you just made up the spars. Now Hunt, he doesn't do it like this. He builds them all in one piece or whatever. But I've had good luck doing it this way because I'm in such a little area here. So once again, I'm going to cut out some ribs. Very boring, but you guys want to see it, so go Team USA. I don't know how they're doing. Didn't sound good, Joe Daly's report, but I think Orestes is in second. It's probably Igor in first, but I don't know. I haven't looked. Igor is the Europe's Paul Walker. You know, I'd weigh that 1/8 piece of wood that I got and see if I can use that for fuselage sides. I'll have to go over to Radical and get that other piece though. Yeah, this airplane, because I don't have the super good wood, is probably going to be around 60 ounces. Could be a little more. Might build this one dual purpose, pipe and header muffler. Try to get away with a header muffler, and if it don't work, then put it on a pipe. Let's see, been meaning to ask, how much wing offset do you tip? 1 inch. 1 inch of symmetry normally. Wing offset just means less tip weight. And we could measure it. Well, I don't have my and with equal panels with offset center line, equal panels, different tips. They're on equal panels. Inboard wing is 1 inch longer, same tips. Outboard flap is 1/4 inch bigger. found that just cutting these is faster than sanding them. We like fast. So this is 4. This one's it here. Come on, get on there. Trying to make sure everything touches everything. Of course, we got to take them out and hold them up yet, so no big deal. You know what? I think I'm going to go to the hobby shop. That'll take me an hour. It'll be 2:30. Be back by 4 o'clock. Let me weigh up this piece of wood here. This feels, maybe this is just too damn heavy. The only piece 1/8 inch by 48 that I got, and they got one piece over at the hobby shop. .6 ounces on that. Let's go here. Open form. Calculator. Ounces 1.6. 1.6. If this is not decent, then I won't bother. It's 48 inches long. 48, 4, 8. Calculate. Nope, I'm not going. 720. No good. So we'll just have to make it with, I'll use that as a template. I'll make it with 3/32. Isn't that a bummer? Okay, so we need to cut a couple more ribs here and see if we got enough. We got enough for one rib out of that. L7. That ain't right. Shit. One, two, three, four, five. L5. They're all marked wrong. What the hell am I doing here? One, two, three, four, five. This is L6 here. L6. This is L7. L7. Okay. There we go. We're back on track now. Damn. Took a lot of time just jockeying the jig to make it perfect. See how nice to do it this way is? You don't have to, I mean, I'm cut close to the line so I don't have to sand much, but you don't have to cut it out perfect, you sand it perfect. That is super nice. Yeah, it ain't much to, there's only 4 watchers. Ain't much excitement here on this. I guess if I made crash videos or something like that, we'd get a whole lot more views, but £7 wood, jeez. Well, that's not as bad as the Sig Magnum wood. 11 and 14 pound wood. I think we'll work on the Magnum here shortly too. I got a year to put this together. Show would be a whole lot more interesting if you guys would ask me some questions. Okay. You guys like this format, or do you want me to go back to making movies? At least with movies I can run the TV. You guys see how nice those things fit in there when you do it this way? I mean, absolutely perfect. Okay, 3 more to go. More to go. So it takes 6 sheets to make ribs. Hey, Skip. A pleasure watching me work, oh boy. Come on, Skip. He's gotta be boring. It actually takes, yeah, it takes 3 sheets aside. I've been watching this guy. I mean, I don't make these kind of models, but he makes dioramas for 8 in HO scale. Man, the guy's good. He's from Australia. Really interesting stuff. I went over to Micromark website today and saw that they got, I have a X-Acto table saw, but it's from the 1970s. And I don't have it here, I have it in St. Louis. But they have a Micromark table saw for $349. Man, it's sweet. I wish I could afford it. Got a little handheld jigsaw scroll saw thing. That's only $50. I'm thinking about getting that. Micromark's got some neat stuff. Okay, this is the 9. That goes here. I remember as a kid sitting down on the floor getting those plans from Flying Models. They had all the rib patterns on the plan set, taking a stick pin, going around and poking holes in the plans to transfer it to the wood, and then cutting all them ribs out, sanding them up. Boy, I wish I knew then what I know now, how to do stuff. It would have been so much easier. A lot of fun as a kid. I used to go down the street. We used to draw airplanes, World War II airplanes, Stukas, Spitfires, Mustangs. All the neighborhood kids would get together on a long sheet of paper. We'd draw a battle scene. Yeah, after these two, one more. Try not to sand into the foam too much, because if you do, you'll change its shape. Just sand it till it's flat. Okay, well, I only got one. Alright, no big deal. Still gotta cut the shear webs. I'll make sure to show how I get the shear webs to fit perfect. Because that's pretty important, that the shear webs fit perfect. You can tell when it's sanded flat is the little flashing will come off between the foam and the wood. And that's when you're done. Done. Okay, so oh man, almost knocked them pins on the floor. But I do have a magnet I could pick them up with. And it wouldn't be like sorting out all them nuts and bolts. I did that one time. So on this one I'm going to move the belt crank back. So I got to plot out how the wires are going to go. My tank theoretically can come back all the way to the spar. I'll have to remember that when I'm laying out the fuselage. Okay, last rib. And we got 39 minutes on. Now I made a fuselage plug right here. This rib is this rib right here, and then I glued the sheeting on over the top of it, so that this will represent exactly what this section represents finished. And I'll cut this out a little small on the fuselage, and then when we go to put together, I'll sand the fuselage hole ever so gently so that it'll fit absolutely perfect right there. Remember, there's no such thing as a perfect airplane, but it doesn't mean you can't try. There's always going to be some mistake, or just the way it is. If the mistake is too big, make a new one. If it's not, carry on. Like the guy asked me yesterday about his motor mounts. He cut them 3/4 of an inch too short at the wing. Well, I just scab on a piece of balsa wood and carry on. It's only 3/4 of an ounce. L10. I probably could hold this, grip it, but it's better to stake it. Okay, we got it. We're done with the big ribs. It didn't take long to cut a rib set. I mean, okay, so this one, this is L10. Why did that go? There we are. What's going on here? Why didn't it touch? We got some drift here. What's the story? Let's change camera view so you can see what I'm doing. You know what? I better put this up. Oh yeah, it's called a Warren truss, and that's why bridges are done with angles and not straight. Let's see how that looks. Okay, I've got a drift in this spar. The trailing edges are not meeting up exactly where they're supposed to be. That's it. Remember, if a piece is not touching something else, you don't need it. So, especially with ribs, you want to make sure everything touches what it's supposed to touch, or else you'll have a weak spot and it'll fold up. So if it's off just a little, move something until it touches. It only takes a 64th of an inch in one spot to have it off all the way down the line. Touching, touching. touching, 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 touching. Okay, it's in the right spot now. Let me sight down this thing and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay, so that's in the right spot. We can go through and we can start holding them up. I'm going to end this video, and I'm going to hold them up, and when I come back I'll have all the parts made and we'll glue it together. I'll show you how I glue it together, you know, meticulously make sure everything's perfect. And I would continue to show you what I'm doing, except for YouTube's policy against copyright. You know, I want to watch some TV and have something to interact with or whatever. So that's what makes it so hard to do this. So I'll be back in a little bit after I get these parts cut, and tonight we'll glue it together. I've got to hold all these ribs up, and it's just repetition over and over again. You know, put all the holes and everything. It just takes time. You guys got any questions before I wrap this one up? I've still got to make 1, 2, 3, 4 false ribs in the trailing edge, and 2 landing gear ribs, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12 more parts, and this wing will be ready to glue together. I kind of like how I did the landing gear on this one this time, with the balsa wood sandwiched between 64th ply, and then I put a brace between the 2 ribs to hold them perfectly square. I think I'm going to cut the plywood floors and the basswood for the landing gear floor and glue them in before I glue the sheeting on. That way I don't have to fish them in through the hole. Anything I can do to make it easier and cleaner is helpful. And so far it's coming out real nice. It's not quite as light as I'd like. We're going to be about an ounce overweight, it looks. It's the lightest wood I got. And I thank you for sending me the wood, because the wood that we got here is it's atrocious. And these ribs came off a 12-gram sheet. I remember getting 8-gram sheets. And these were off a 13-gram sheet, and like I say, 8-gram, and the 17s were 12s. It's just the way it used to be. Not anymore. We're just kind of screwed. So I think composites is going to be what I'm going to look at next. I was talking to John. I think I can make airplanes out of paper bags. Brown paper bag. Cut a foam core and skin it with a brown paper bag, sand it, paint it, and then core it, you know. Gotta try something. Hey Gary, too bad I'm getting off here. I'll be back later. You're a little late. I just made all this rib set here for this, on this go around, and showed everybody how to mate them together. And then you build this half, and then you separate the two, and you work on halves, and then when you get ready, you just marry them together like you would a foam wing. No big deal. Alright, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. I'll be back later on this afternoon. Fair winds, tight lines. We'll see you. Maybe. There it is.